Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Abba Shem Yashah Thumb to the brothers. Shalom, How Shema Al Shem Yashah to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohanan, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. We teach that all so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and Esau, or as you might know him as the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Also, just so for anybody who might be confused, we are not affiliated with what you know as today as the nation of Israel. Those are the fake Jewish people who are the synagogues of Satan, according to the Bible, right? So I just want to make that very clear. Today is the Sabbath service. We're going to be going over the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 17, to the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 2. We 49 verses, 7 by 7, read in the Hebrew, and then we break it down in the English. If anybody hasn't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And obviously, any questions that you may have, feel free to put it in the chat. And participation is always encouraged. Remember, this is not the Christian church. We're not just going to sit here and, watch a show. By all means, ask any questions if you don't get a full understanding of anything. But with that being said, Amijim, which means to stand or rise, just me up here. La Yasha'Allah, which means to or for Israel. Which means to stand or rise and face the east. We're going to be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered when attending class and participating in the prayers. That being said, this is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Barzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baradza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Mathalanawa, Bakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Mansaiwan, Abal, Habshainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wa'ala, Wa'ataparath, Lawalamian, Aman. This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. This is Hakat, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Babakashah, Nathalanawa, Hakah, Hakah, La'apa'ah, Kamatala, Wakamadawa, Hakah, Watahar, Hamadizarayim, Hakah, La'aquayim, Hamathiam, Hakah, Abakawath, Atama'ala, Bagarshum, Ba'ashum, Yahushai, for water, Amun. Now in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. This is bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasha'ala, Waha, Bayat Saparium, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the water, Aman. What we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the English, in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayenya, All, Aharium, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Azoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'radza, Bayathan, Umawat, Wagalka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Anah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yeshun, Shamar, Asha'ala, Yahweh, Ashamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayad, Yamka, Yamamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Bayarak, Alayla, Yahweh, Ashamarka, Makal, Rai, Ashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Ashamar, Azafka, Obu'afka, Maita, Wa'ai, Awalam. This is Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayim, Al-Dam Yalaka, Al-Taka Arash, wa Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Yabika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Yar Yamwa, Sawada, Wa'ata, Ya'atasawa, Al-Tasapawanika, Al-Marwa, Lakawa, Manakakidum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shamya Sha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Akazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alika, Barayath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Eshamai, Alayum, Mawa'aba, Walgorium, Gabal, Wa'am1, Wa'amalak, Talashaf, Amishabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Haiwa, Zorawai, Labani Lawat, Salah, Ashalahum, Kamadyam, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Hoyashwan, Nashawa, Bayandara, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shaitamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Katrab, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakazalmanai, Kanasiakabwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Niarasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shaitamwa, Kagagala, Wakwash, Lapanya, Raka'a, Ka'ash, Labaira, Yaira, Wakalaba, Falahat, Harayum, Kun, Thoradatma, Basta Irika, Babasa, Wapaka, Tabalam, Mala'a, Panyahum, Palawan, Waya, Wakwashwa, Shemka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadawa, Kayata, Shemka, Yahawa, Babaka, Alawan, Alcohol, Ha'abadaza. This is Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. So also was run with them. They have opened the children of Lot. So Lot, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabed, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, made their numbers like a red, like Zaid. Yea, all the princes, as Zabah, and as Amuna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wind, as some before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. Men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. These are the blessings in the Hebrew. Barak Yahweh, Wayah Shai, Wamiaka Allah, Wala Hayam, Manzab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Halawapim, Hasaranyam, Hakadazayoyan, Hakayayoyan, Wahagwathian, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, for water, Amun. Now in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, Commanders in Yahweh, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. You may be seated. All right, we're going to be going through the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 17 to 23 in the Hebrew. Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 17 in the Hebrew. By Qadar, let's see, Ayash, Maka Thayah, Yana Tatham, Ayla Yawam, Kwa Quatarath, Waha Quara Bathum, Lagunya, you see, Yahweh, Ayash, Maka Thayah, Amashayam, Wamathayam, Makathath, Wa'athaya, Wa'arahan, Ayash, Matha Thaathya, Wa'aquaya, Ayash, Mathathath, Wa'athanya, Ilawam, Ash, Wa'ashaya Maya, Ilawam, Quatarath, Wa'amadya, let's see, Pathak, Ahor, Ma'ayad, Wamasha'a, let's see, Waka Ra'ab, Wayakwa'o, Iwalam, Quarak, Af, Ba'al, Ha'ida, or Pathak, Ahor, Mawa'id, Wa'ra'ah, Ba'an Yahweh, or Ba'al, Ha'idya, Wa'adabar, Yahweh, or Masha'ah, Wa'al, Hara'ah, La'amar, Habadalia, Mathayan, Ha'ida'ah, Haza'af, Waba'al'ah, Atham, Baraga'ai, Wayapalya, Hanyawam, Wayamara, all, Alahan, Harakath, Labal, Bashar, Hayaash, Akar, Wakwata'a, Io, Baal, Ha'idya, Hapatazan, last verse, Y Dabar, Yahweh, All, Masha'ah, Lamar. All right, so this is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 17. So like this 1 second. In the English. And take every man his censer and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. So just real quick, just so everybody knows. For a censer, which is matah in the Hebrew, it is a fire holder, fire pan, or like a snuff dish. So kind of similar to, actually right here. So this would technically be considered a censer. So everybody understands. Verse 19, and Korah gathered all the congregation against them onto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. So Korah, would be son of Izar. There's a few things. So I'll just read you all the definition. So Korah, or actually means translates to bald in the Hebrew, son of Izar, grandson of Kahath, great-grandson of Levi, and leader of the rebellion of the Israelites against Moses and Aaron while in the wilderness. Hint, hint. Punished and died by an earthquake and flames of fire. I feel like I just kind of gave that away, but so you kind of know what's going on. So these are Levites. This is a Levite, right? Just so everybody understands when you hear that name. These are brothers within the congregation. A reminder that outsiders are not welcome into the congregation. So this is kind of more of like a in-house situation. So verse 20, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in the moment. So pretty much what's going on right here, there's let's say there's a strong difference of opinion, or rebellion, if you will. Some people are not necessarily okay with how Moses and Aaron are running things. So there's a rebellion, and the Lord is not happy with this. So let's go back real quick. Oh, Slack, one second. So I'll let you know what we're right.
Okay, as soon as I put my head back on?
Yeah, you 2 hours. Just to see that's right from 2 hours. I'm gonna have you start from numbers 16 and 19. Use. You see my bag right there? There should be a sword in that big one. It'd be brown. Yeah, you 2 hours. It's not even showing. Okay. All right. You can see that one.
Down here?
Yeah, it's right there. That's what. The water. Are you ready? Yeah, numbers 16 and 19. I'll have you start there. Go ahead.
Oh, so I
Yeah,
16 and what?
16 and 19.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 19. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
Okay, so what we're just going over, right? So Korah, this is Levite, right? These are all brothers, right? So at this time, again, they're having like a little bit of an issue about how Moses and Aaron are running things, right? So there was a rebellion of sorts, right? So it says, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation, meaning the Lord was not happy with what was going on. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
So real quick, right? So it says Korah gathered all the congregation, singular, right? So in the Bible, it also refers to the Korahites were punished. This would be Korah and like his descendants, Levites, just so that nobody gets confused. But Korah, singular, meaning a singular person, gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, right? So then let's go back down, going back to 21. Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them, plural, in the moment. And I'll get to why it's worded that way in a second. You can keep going out, verse 22.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Read that part one more time where it says, shall one man sin?
Shall one man sin?
One man sin, right? Keep going.
And wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
So does anybody know what wroth means? Let's take a guess. Well, let's what's happening right now? Go ahead. You're close, not wrong. You're very close. So there's a rebellion going on right now, right? The Lord is okay. Is the Lord pleased about what's going on?
No.
Okay, he's not, right? So when it says, shall one man sin and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? What does wroth mean? Angry, right? Angry. You're upset, right? He is angry, right? So you're angry. The Lord is angry because of what's happening. Now, key words right here, right? Shall one man, Korah, sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? There's a theme that you consistently see throughout the Bible, right? Your actions affect everybody. And it's not even just Israelites, it's everybody. When we were brought up out of Egypt, who had us in captivity?
The Egyptians.
Who specifically?
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. That's one man, right? I'm pretty sure there were some nice Egyptians. Pretty sure not everybody had a slave, right? But was it just some of the Egyptians that were punished, or was it all the Egyptians punished?
All the Egyptians.
All the Egyptians were punished. I bring it back even a little further, right? In Genesis, there was a time when before he was Abraham, Abram and his rib, they were traveling through Egypt. I don't see if y'all remember. Abram was afraid that if people found out Sarai at that time, before it's changed to Sarah, if they found out that that was his rib because she was so beautiful, right? He was pretty much he was going to be killed because they were like, oh, like we're going to get rid of him so we can get to her. So what did he do? He lied and said, oh, that's my sister, which was not smart because now it's like, well, they're definitely not going to think that's your rib. Now they think, oh, it's free game. All right, whatever. Like, you know, how much you want for your sister? And guess what happened? At that time, there was a man in Egypt who wanted his quote unquote sister, right? And at that time, because of his fear of man, he damn near gave up his wife. It wasn't the greatest moment, right? But guess what? At that time, do y'all remember what the Lord did? Anybody can take a guess. Think about what we're talking right now and what happened in Egypt when we were brought up out of Egypt. What happened in this specific account? Nobody remember? It's okay if you don't remember. I'll tell you. You got anything up? I'm walking through it. Remember, they were walking through. He lied about that being his wife because he was afraid of what might happen to him, right? So then a very powerful man in Egypt at that time saw his rib. Remember, he doesn't think that's his rib. He thinks that's his sister. So he pretty much told him, like, hey, how much do you want for your sister? And for a little bit, Abram was agreeing to it. There was a moment, or I guess a time, I should say, Sarai was in this man's house. What happened to that man, the Egyptian man? What happened to him when she was in there?
The Lord was on him.
The Lord was on him, right? He was what with him?
He was angry.
He was angry. He was wroth with him, right? And do you remember what he did?
To that man?
Not just to that man, I'm giving you a hint. To everybody up in there. You don't got to give like specific details. You can be vague with it.
Well, I just know that he went to Abraham and told him why he called sin. He was about to call sin.
Okay, so I'll give it to you. Yeah. So at that time, right, when Sarai was in that man's home, the Lord unleashed a plague on him, but not just him. It was everybody that was dwelling up in that home, the Egyptians, right? And you're right. It got to a point where he found out that that was Abram's rib. And what did you just say? What did he do?
He told him that he was going to sin against his Lord.
Pretty much. Okay, kind of. He pretty much was upset because he told Abram, like, why didn't you just tell me that this was your rib? You going to make me sin. You brought sin all up in here. But again, the actions of one man plagued everybody. That's the theme that I want everybody to understand right now. it wasn't just him. Somebody said it came to Pharaoh in a dream, punished the whole city. Yeah, okay, so at that time it wasn't the whole city. Y'all own it though, but it was like everybody who dwelled were like, I guess you said like his palace or whatnot. So my whole point is he punished multiple people. And I know some people kind of like, what the hell? Like what? That you gotta think. Some of them they had nothing to do with what was going on. They were just following orders, probably like Pharaoh had his guards and stuff like that. And they're like, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? And then that's why. So going back to Korah and why he's the Levite, right? And right here where it says, shall one singular man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? Now everybody got to pay because of what Korah is doing. Moral of the story is you don't just affect yourself when you sin or make decisions, right? It affects everybody, even people you don't think it would affect, right? That's why Moses and Aaron, they look into the Lord like, man, like you really gonna punish everybody because of this dude? That's what's happening right now, right? So you can continue, you can stop, verse 23, and then we'll read in the Hebrew and continue after that.
Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
Okay, so we'll stop right there. So I'm going to do 24 to 31 in the Hebrew, and then we'll pick it back up in the English. Okay, so this is the book of Numbers, chapter 24. It's like verse 6, chapter 16, verse 24. Debar all hayada'a lamar ayala'a ma masa bayab lamashaban kwarak the thun waya ra'am waya pom masha waya la'a all the thun wa'a ma yara'am waya laba'am akaya'a Zakwanya, Yasha'ala, Waya the bar, all Ha'ai Da'a, Lamar, Sa Wayam, Na'a, Ma'il, Ahalia, Hanashayam, Hara Sha'ayam, Hala'a, Wa'al, Thaga'ai, Babal, Ashar, Lahum, Hun, Taba Pa'an, Babal, Hasatham, Wayailia, Ma'il, Masha'an, Kwarak, Dathan, Wa Bayam, Masabay Ba'ab. Let's see. Wadathan, Wa'a Bara'an, Wayataza'ar, Natazaba'am, God Hathak, Alahayim, Wanashayam, Wabanya Ma'am, Wasapam, Wayamar, Masha, Baza'ath, Thadai, Maya, Yahweh, Shalaknaya, La'ai Sha'ath, Ba'al, Hama'ai Shayam, Ha'alya, Maya, La'a, Malabaya, Baya'ab, Ba'al, Hadam, Wamathyan, Ala'a, Wapakwadath, Ba'al, Hadam, Yapakwadath, I'll Layam, La'a, Yahweh, Shalaknaya, Wa'am, Bara Yaba'a, Yahweh, Wapatazathya, Adama, Ath, Paya, Balai, Atham, Ith, Ath, Baal, Ashar, Laham, Wayadanya, Kayam, Shala'ah, Wa'ida, Wada I Thumb, Ka'am, Natazah. Slack you. Give me a second. Could you just peek out real quick? The water. Give me a second. Slack here. Okay. Natazayah, Hanashayam, Ala'af, Yahweh, last verse. Wa'ayah, Babal La'afia, Ladabar, Af, Baal, Hadabaram, Hala'ah, Yathaba Kwa'ai, Hadama'a, Ashar, Thakathaya'am. All right. So we're going to do, all right. Look at Numbers chapter 16, verse 24 to 31 in the English.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 24. Speak unto the congregation, saying, get up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abram. Verse 25, and Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abram, and the elders of Israel followed him. Verse 26, and he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of this wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. Verse 27, so they got up from the tabernacles of Korah, Dathan, and Abram on every side, and Dathan and Abram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. Okay, so we'll stop this real quick, just again give you a context of what's going on right now. This is the rebellion. So Dathan, which actually is Dathan in Hebrew, which means belonging to a fountain. He was there's a Reubenite chief, son of Eliab, who his brother Abiram joined Korah's conspiracy against Moses's authority, right? So this is a Reubenite brother and his brother, of course. So these are brothers within the congregation who had a problem with Moses and Aaron, and they decided to go against them. So I just want to say something real quick, right? This is what the white man wants, right? This is what all your enemies want. They want you to fight amongst each other. This is very sad about what's happening right now. You gotta think, Moses, what did Moses and Aaron do? Everybody knows this story, right? Go ahead. They took the children out of Israel.
Yeah. Not Israel, but Egypt.
Out of Egypt.
You good though. So yes, these were two men who were sent by the Lord to go into Egypt to rescue us up out of captivity. You'd think that would be a good thing, right? I mean, I would be happy. Like, I'm over here in chains and whatnot. You mean to tell me you came over to come save me and my family and my people, and you mean to tell me, I might go through a little hardship, but we're gonna go to a land that is our own and we're gonna have salvation there? Yeah, sign me up. I'm eternally grateful to you. Thank you for everything that you've done. What can I do to help you? Shoot. But again, things happening, right? We already talked about, the golden calf. We already know about that. That was already like a slap in the Lord's face. Like, imagine you, right? Imagine you going to do something nice for your people, right? I'm not saying you got to be cocky and it's like, oh, I want all the credit. It's not that, but let's be real. It does feel nice to at least be told, like, hey, thank you, sir. Thank you for what you did for us. You mean you gotta give me nothing? Don't give me nothing. Like, I'm just happy to see y'all good. You mean to tell me you do all that, and then the people that you saved said, you know what? I don't believe that you're real. And I'm going to make something out of our jewelry, and I'm going to give all the credit to that. You see how like crazy that sounds when you explain it out loud? That's what the Lord was dealing with. He like, damn, I really sent these men to go get y'all up out of captivity, and then this is how y'all do me. I just slapped me in the face multiple times, by the way, multiple times, to the point that Aaron was vexed, caused him to err. Moses was vexed, caused him to err, right? The Lord was so fed up, he was like, man, you know, I'm about to create some Mosesites. That's what I'm about to do. I'm so sick and tired of these people. I did all this for them, and this is how y'all do me. No sweat. Hey, Moses, come up here to Mount Sinai real quick, and we about to make a new covenant. And then Moses was like, hey, whoa. Hold on, Lord. Like, just give him a chance, right? Same way he hit the reset button in Genesis when the world was so wicked that he had to flood the earth. He's going to do it again, but with Israel. You get my point? So here we are. You got some Reubenite brothers and a Levite brother, and they're like, nah, we ain't rocking with Moses, man. I don't like y'all. I don't like how y'all run things here. Now you're conspiring against the congregation? For what? The Lord is pissed. And again, Moses and Aaron, here they are again, having to deal with the Most High. They're like, oh, man, like, you about to get everybody for this? Because of these idiots over here? Think about that the next time you choose to make a decision that could potentially harm everybody else. Just saying. That's all I got for that. Where you at? 20? You finished 28 or no? Verse 28. Salakia.
Verse 28.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. So
you see how again Moses is giving credit, like he did the work. Don't get me wrong, but like he was instructed by the Most High to do these things. What you mad at me for? I'm helping the living God of us to help you. Keep going.
If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me.
Meaning the Lord ain't with you. The Lord ain't with you. You were never with us. We've all heard that before, right? Plenty of people that have left the school, and it's like, well, you was never really with us. Your spirit was never really with us because you left. You had the spirit of, if things don't work out here, I'm just going to dip. And brotherhood sound cool, but I'm going to dip. I'm going to go smoke weed. Y'all heard stories. I'm pretty sure we all know of somebody that's left, and it's just like, oh, there they go. I'm not going to say names, but there were certain people that I knew. Some of them were troopers at the time. When I was a young man, I got into the truth. Ain't none of them here no more. They went back to the world to sell drugs and God knows what else, right? It's a slap in the face, right? Keep going.
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
So what's happening right now, it says, but if the Lord make a new thing and the earth open up her mouth, meaning if the Lord makes a hole in the earth, like think of like a sinkhole. You know what a sinkhole is? Think of a sinkhole that swallows you up and you die, right? That's what this is talking about real quick. But if the Lord make a new thing and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, and all that appertaineth unto them, meaning those people, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord, meaning now that you see what the Lord is capable of, what he's capable enough to do to our people, if we choose to be disobedient, to mock the Most High, to profane the Most High, to curse the Most High, this is what's going to happen to you. And it's kind of like, y'all heard that saying, a hard head makes for a soft bottom, or how the Lord refers to us as a stiff-necked people. We are hard-headed, man. We don't like to listen. You know what's crazy? We'll listen to somebody that ain't us. We'll be quick to listen to the white man. You'll become a Buddhist by talking to some Asian person. A Japanese person can convince you to go live in Japan because it's such a great country. Mind you, they racist as hell. All these people racist. I want you to understand that. I don't know if okay, you might not know who I'm talking about, but there's this young dude, he's a Judite brother. He's a streamer. His name's like I Show Speed, right? I've seen him for years. Like, he typically did like, the typical outlandish stuff when he was younger, but he started doing something very unique that I've never seen anybody else do. He started doing tours of different countries. And through these tours, I believe he did like an Asian tour. And again, it was like a lot of like what you would expect from Asian people. It's like they like you that you're a celebrity, but then like, they mock you, they want to say nigga, they want to, the stereotypes, all that stuff. The one that really got me was when he did the European tour. Before he even did it, I already knew in my head, I'm like, people just don't get it. Like, them Edomites do not like us, man. I've been to Europe. I've been to Italy and I've been to France. They do not like us. I promise you. Racism is not just a North American thing. It's universal. Those are their cousins. Those are their brothers and sisters. You got to think the Netherlands, Italy, France, Spain, all Europe, that's them. You want to know what he did? He did that European tour. And I'm going to be real with you. Like, it's one thing to deal with racism in America, but you got to think you in the white man's home. You over there. There ain't no civil rights over there. There is no Civil Rights Act. There is no a law against discrimination by race or religion or sexual orientation over there. There is none of that mess. No. If they don't like you, I'm talking about they were throwing bananas at them. Some of them were trying to get physical with them, antagonizing them, calling them the hard ER, making monkey noises. It's bad, man. It's bad. And you'll listen to them. That's the scary part. You will listen to them. But you can't listen to a man that looked just like you. And you want to know what that is? That's self-hatred. I'm gonna tell you why. It's how do I say this? I'm stuttering a lot. Slack it. You look at it from a psychological aspect. You as a black man, a black woman living in America or anywhere for that matter, right? You have been taught your whole life that dark skin is bad, your hair is nappy, your hair is ugly, you are ugly. The beauty standards should be a lighter skin tone, damn near white, long, stringy hair, Eurocentric features, right? That's what you've been taught. You got to think you have been surrounded by that your whole life. Also, the representation that you do see of you, think about it. White people, they got police officers, firefighters, psychologists, they have doctors, psychiatrists, they have presidents, they have mayors, they have the government. They have positions of authority as their role models. What do we have that's consistently pushed out to us here specifically in North America? You have rappers, you have singers, you have a lot of performers, a jester, if you will. You're only valid when you are a performer. Or, one second. Oh, sorry. Excited. No, it's been like about a little hour.
You still got an hour?
I've been up for about an hour.
Oh, you live now?
Concert.
I got to set up for this interview.
Oh, okay. No, you too, sir. But you see the slide there. Slide. But yeah, looking at it from a psychological aspect, that's what you've been taught your whole life. And the role models that we're consistently given here in North America is, again, the rappers, the singers, the dancers, a lot of performers, if you will, right? Or you're an athlete. That's usually what's pushed out. Or you see a lot of the same negative stereotypes that they consistently push out about Black people. So you're already being shown on a subconscious level that you are not valued. You are not as important. You were born wrong. Black is bad. White is right. And then on top of that, you are shown that as your role models. You know what that does to a person over time? You don't even think it. It doesn't even hit you until it's too late. You grow up to hate yourself. That's what happens. You grow up to hate yourself. And because you hate yourself, when you look at another black man, guess what happens? You can't respect him. You want to know why you can't respect him? It's because you can't respect yourself because you never valued yourself. That's what happens. All right. And this is the problem of what's going on right now. We were too used to being slaves for too damn long. So now you got brothers who are coming down and doing an extremely righteous thing. They don't have to do this. They could have said, nah. The Lord could have said, you can leave him there. But he did all that, right? And then you still gonna turn on him? That's crazy when you think about it. But that's what's happening right here. This has been happening for far too long. So at some given point, you have to break this cycle, right? Because if we do not break this cycle, this is going to keep happening. Why are you forming a rebellion against your own people? For what? Rebellion for what? You want to rebel against being freed? That made no damn sense. It made no damn sense. So like, you can keep going on.
Verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Numbers 16 and verse 29. No, 30. Salakia. But if the verse 30, where am I? Verse 31.
30. Go to verse 31.
Salakia. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 31. And it came to pass as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the Lord clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that
appertained
unto Korah, and all their goods. They
actually, you can stop right there. I'm gonna read in Hebrew. So you already read 32, so I'll stop at 32. So we'll do 32 to 32 to 39. So this is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 32 to, okay, it's 35 in here, so we'll do that. All right, so it's the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 32. Ta'ak hara'ah, or harataza'af hayah, yatha balai atham, wayaf batha ya'aham, wa'af, wa'al, hadam, ashar, lakwa ra'ach, ath, ba'al, hara bayash, waya rada'ah, ham, ya ba'al, ashar, laham, hayayam, shala'ah, watha ba'am, alayam, haratazah, wayabadya, athayam, hakwa'al, wabal, yasharala, ashar, sabayabathyam, nasaya, lakwala'am, baya, amara, pun, thabala'anya, haratazah, ayash, wataza'ah, ma'af, Yahweh, wathaba'al, af, hama, haka masha'am, wamathayam, ayash, makwa ra ya'am, hakwa ra. So that's it. All right, so you'll do 32 to 39.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all their men appertained unto Korah
Mm-hmm.
and all their goods. Verse 33. And all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
So they were punished. They were punished for their rebellion. You see what happened? You can keep going.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
Keep going.
Verse 36. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Elijah the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censer out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollowed. Verse 38. The censer of the censers of these sinners against their own soul, let them make them broad plates for covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Lord. Therefore they are hollowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Elijah the priest took the brazen censer wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar.
You can keep reading. You can finish up chapter 16. For the Torah, there's no more in the Hebrew for that. So you can continue reading all the way to 50.
To be a verse 40, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron.
Not the seed of who?
Aaron. Come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah, and as his company.
Right.
As the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses.
So pretty much they were made into an example. And the reason why this was made, it says to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, meaning what? It can mean a multitude of things. Obviously, the most obvious one is like a heathen, right? But we can dive in a little deeper too. This could also mean somebody. We were once referred to as Gentiles. Now, traditionally, a Gentile in the Bible is what? Anybody remembers? It's like the most common one. Go ahead.
A non-Israelite.
A non-Israelite. Now, what's the other meaning?
Someone that don't know the Lord.
Somebody that don't know the Lord, and that person would be who? Is that still an Israelite?
He's still blood Israelite.
Yeah, he's still like blood-wise, he's an Israelite. But because he's so estranged, guess what? He would be considered like you just said, a Gentile now. Because you're behaving like one, you might as well not be an Israelite. So the way these brothers were moving, yeah, they were our brothers blood-wise, yeah, but look what they did. They chose to rebel against the congregation. Mind you, again, I'm going to put it into perspective for you. These brothers were trying to help us. Aaron and Moses were helping us. That's what they were sent to do. And they've been nothing but a help. And now you're upset because what? You don't like the way they're running things. So you try to seize them. And now look what happened. The Lord, as usual, punishes them by making out, for this context, I'll say like something similar of like a sinkhole or a small quake, and the earth swallowed them up and they died because of the trespass that they committed against not just the Lord, but their own people. So now going back to verse 40, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he may not, he be not as Korah. Don't be like Korah. He was a traitor amongst his own people. For what? Was you mad? That's ridiculous, man. Go ahead, Art.
Verse 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, ye have killed the people of the Lord.
Okay, so now the morrow, right now, this is the next day. So now there's rumors starting. So now some people are like, oh my goodness, Moses and Aaron were responsible for killing the Lord's children. Keep going.
And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation. And behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Verse 43. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get ye up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces.
So again, something very similar is happening right now. So now this isn't necessarily a physical aspect, but now the Lord is seeing what's going on right now. He's seeing that now there's rumors. This should also be, what's another word, phrase? Sowing discord or sowing strife, right? Rumors. This is also a sin, mind you. This is another reason why the Bible tells you, I'm paraphrasing, you got a problem with a brother, right? You go to him and him alone to avoid stuff like this. Because mind you, they didn't go to Moses and Aaron and ask them, did you kill all those people? No, they just heard something. Oh, hey guys, look, this is what happened. They're telling everybody, and of course they're gonna believe it. So now it's causing a panic. Now this is a sin. This is a sin. You're spreading a rumor. You're spreading the spirit of doubt and a lie amongst the people when you shouldn't have done that. They're wrong for that. So again, the Lord is saying, what? Separate yourself from this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. Pretty much the Lord is going to do to them what he did to Korah and Dathan and I always butcher his name, Abiram, right? You don't want that. You can keep going up. Verse 46.
Verse 46. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them.
Right.
For there is wrath going out from the Lord.
Right.
The plague is begun.
Right. So the Lord is angry. He's very angry. So now he's unleashing yet another plague. Go ahead.
And Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people.
He made an atonement for the people. So what it means right there is Moses, okay, they see what's going on, right? Lord is very angry. There is a wrath that's plaguing the people right now, right? So it says right here, and Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran into the midst of the congregation. He's trying to get there. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. Meaning what? He's trying to save the people. Despite all, you got to think about the type of men Aaron and Moses were. Like the Lord knew what type of men he was dealing with, right? These are very selfless men, right? They might have erred in certain ways, but a lot of the things that they did were for the people. Even now, there was a rumor being spread about them that they committed this crime. And these are the very people that are doing it. But despite that, they still are trying to be brotherly and trying to put their best foot forward as leaders and help their people despite them going astray. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that. It takes a lot. They didn't turn their back on their people. All right, you can keep going out.
Verse 48. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that died about the matter of Korah.
That's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people that didn't need to die. You get my point? Had they never led that rebellion, none of that would have happened. Had they not started that rumor about Moses and Aaron, none of that would have happened, right? If they did not sin, none of this would have happened. You see how like it always leads to something bigger? And again, it wasn't just one person. Read that one more time, verse 49.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 49.
Right.
And they that died in the plague were 14,700.
14,700. Keep going.
Besides them that died about the matter of Korah.
Meaning these ain't even the people that died with Korah. This is the added people. All the people died for what? Because you wanted to be unbrotherly? Now you caused the death of not just yourself, but your brothers and your sisters too. It's crazy, man. Again, it doesn't need to happen, right? You could finish up verse 50.
Verse 50. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
So the plague was stayed. I mean, the Lord did what he said he was going to do. You know, good on, you know, Aaron and Moses for, you know, at least trying, but the Lord was going to make sure that punishment was carried through. You don't want that. I don't know about you, but I don't want that for our people. You know, at some point, you got to learn from your mistakes. You got to learn from your mistakes because the same thing is going to keep happening over and over and over again. This is very similar to, there was another time we were at war with it was the Midianites and the Moabites. And I don't know if y'all remember this account. I want to say it's Ezra chapter 9. And what happened at that time, I'm paraphrasing, we were at war, but there were brothers that were taking on heathen women as prisoners. And they wanted to have relations with those women, right? And because of that, there was a plagued the whole camp. The whole camp. Now, was every brother doing it? No, but enough were doing it to the point that everybody started, you know, it was like this great evil amongst everybody, right? So Moses is like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's going on here? And I always forget the brother's name. It was a certain brother. He found one of them in the tent, in the act. I believe it was a Midianite woman, and he threw a javelin. Go ahead, sir.
The brother, I think they had just got through talking about it in front of the congregation, and the brother walked past the congregation with the woman and went into the tent.
Right.
To lay down with her.
Yeah. Concert, the water. Yeah, it like we really like read it. It's like, what? And he just walked into the tent. Mind you, like there's people around. It wasn't like it was a secret. Like they're in there. And the brother probably heard them first and then saw them, and he was so mad he just took the javelin and struck them, and it went through both of them in the act, right? But then what happened shortly after that? Anybody remember? What happened once he did that? Not too long after. Go ahead.
Did he pass?
Did who pass?
The dude that threw the javelin.
Okay, they did pass, but what happened? Okay, what happened amongst the congregation once that stopped? What happened? You don't know? I'll give it to you. The plague was lifted because the evil, the sin that was being committed stopped. So now there is no more plague. Everybody's fine now. But again, the reason why I keep bringing this out is because going back to Numbers 16 and what was it, 22, and it says, and they fell upon their faces and said, "O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, one man, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?" The point that I keep trying to get across is the actions of one can affect many. And that's usually what ends up happening a lot with our people. That's what happens. So at some point, you gotta stop thinking as an individualite, and you gotta start thinking as a community. A lot of the things we do, it affects everybody. So if we start thinking, if I do this, this sister might get affected. This brother might get affected from it. Maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe I should do this differently. Maybe I should talk to somebody. Once we start thinking like that as a whole, things might be a little better. You got to stop being selfish and start thinking about just what you want, because I'm paraphrasing. The Bible says, of your flesh, there is no good thing. You trying to listen to your flesh. Half the time, your flesh be trying to make you do some weird stuff. And then you do the weird stuff. And then weird things happen to you and everybody else. It doesn't need to be like that. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot. All right, so we'll continue in the Hebrew. So we're in chapter 17 now. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. So this is the book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 1. Why the bar, Yahweh all, Masha'ah, La Amar, Amar all, Allah I Zayar, or Elizar, Salakia, Elizar, Baaz, Atharah, Haba'an, Waya Ra'am, Af, Hamakatha, Mabara'ah, Hashara Pa'ah, Ba'ath, Ash, Zara, Alaa, Baya, Quadashia, Ath, Makathai, Haka Tayum, Halaa, Banapasha Thumb, Wa'aishar, a thumb, Rakwa'ai, Takayam, Tazapaya, Lamaza Ba'ak, Ba'ar, Hakwara Ba'am, Lapanya, Yahweh, Wayakwadashia, Wayahaya, Layath, Labanya, Yasha'ala, Wayakwa'ak, Alizar, Haba'an, Af, Baka Thayah, Hanakashaf, Ashar, Hakarabaya, Hasharapaya, Wayarapa'im, Tazapaya, Lamazabak, Zabarak, Labanya, Salaki. Oh man, kids, man. Labanya, Yasha, Labai, Ashar, La'a, Wakwa, Wakarab, Ayash, Za'ar, Ashar, La'a, Mazarai, Ara, Aran, Hara, Lakwatai, or Quata Ra'ath, Lapunya, Yahweh, Aliyah, Yahweh, Bakwa Ra'ach, Waba'ai Da'athia, Bashar, Dabar, Yahweh, Bayad, Ashar, no Asha'ath, Layah, last verse, Wayalanya, Ba'al, Aidath, Banya, Yasha'ala, Karath, Isle, Masha'ah, Ba'il, Arun, Lamar, Atham, Habatham, Ath, Aim, Yahweh. Let me check it. Slack you. Okay. All right, you can go Book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 1. Sure.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers.
Of their who?
Of their fathers.
Of their fathers. So remember, this is, again, real Israelites. All right, not the fake Jewish cats that y'all be seeing around, because what do they teach? I'll give it to you real quick for time's sake. These people teach that you are Jewish from your mother's side. Nowhere in the Bible does it ever state that you are Jewish from your mother's side. I will always give this account because this is a perfect representation of why that teaching is false. At the time where Judah married a Canaanite woman and he had multiple children by that woman, guess what? All those children, if you look it up, and if you don't believe me, you can download this app. It's called the Blue Letter Bible, BLB, and you can go in there and you could look up the names of the children of Judah and the Canaanite woman. It actually gives you what they are. It'll tell you if they're Canaan, Egyptian, Israelite, whatever, right? Every single last one of them, guess what they were? They were all labeled as a Judite, an Israelite, though their mother was a Canaanite woman. So guess who you inherit? You inherit who your father is. So read that one more time from the top, Baba Kasha.
The book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel,
right,
and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers,
right,
of all their princes according to the house of their fathers.
Again, fathers, keep going.
12 rods.
Right.
Write thou every man's name upon his rod. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of the Levi, For one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers.
And you keep hearing it. Head of the house of your father. Father, 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 every single time. So again, just debunking that whole ideology of you are Jewish. No, no. Another reason why we refer to them as the synagogue of Satan. Those are not the real Israelites. They don't even call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Jewish. Jewish. Like, no, it's it. Like, they tell you without telling you if you really just pay attention. They're not. Their genealogy, their biology does not match up to what happens in the Bible and what is happening now. I bring this out like every so often. I want people to understand. You can look it up for yourself, right? I forgot what year it was, but there was a time where the skin cancer rate was so high in Israel, like what you know of as Israel today, was so high that they had to set a curfew for the inhabitants of that land to be in at a certain time. If these are God's chosen people, why are you afraid of the sun? Why would they put you in a land that you can't even inhabit properly? That makes no sense. Israel, as you know today, is right kind of off like it's right by Egypt. Egypt is where? Egypt is in Africa. It's like the north they call it the Horn of Africa, right? It's hot as hell over there. So why would the Lord put God's chosen people in a land where it's hot and they can't thrive? That's like putting a polar bear in the Sahara Desert. That dude gonna die. He gonna die because he's not built for that. You know what he's built for? He's built for cold weather. He's not supposed to be there. He can't thrive in that environment. Those ain't God's chosen people.
Right.
We ain't making this stuff up. You can look it up yourself. I'm just telling you. All right. You can keep going on.
Verse 4. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you. Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod whom I shall choose shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you.
So murmur is like whisper, but it can also be a form of like gossip. Like when someone's murmuring about you to other people, it's gossiping. But again, we're not supposed to be doing that, right? You keep going.
And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince one according to their father's house, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses laid up their rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness.
Right. Okay, you can stop right there. So you read the rest in Hebrew 8-13. Right, so this is the book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 8. Let's see. Waya ba'a, masha'a, waya aron, all, panya, aho, mawa'id, waya dabar, Yahweh, all, masha'a, la'amar, harama'a, mathayan, ha'aida'a, haza'ach, Wabala'a atham baraga'i waya palya il panyawam wa. That's interesting. Okay. Slide. Let's see. Hama athon aliyah ash ma'il hama za'ak washa ya'am pa para'at waha la'am ma ra'a o ha'ayya wa wabapar al layam ma'a wa ataza hakwataza'an malapanya Yahweh Call Haganyan Wapa'ak Hara'am Bashar, Dabar, Masha'a, Warataza, all, Thara'an, Hakwa'al, Na'a, Bakal, Hanyaga'an, Ba'ain, Batha'an, Af, Aqua Tarath, where Pa'ar, Isle, Ha'im, all right, last verse, where I mod, Ya, Hamathayam, Waba'an, Hakayab, Watha Itazar, Hamagan Pa'a. All right. All right, so Numbers chapter 17, verse 8 to 13.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 17, verse 8. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded and brought forth buds and blossomed the blossoms and yielded the almonds. Verse 9. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto all the children of Israel. And they looked and took every man his rod. And the Lord said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony to keep for a token against the rebels. And thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from among me, from me, that they die not.
Okay, so real quick before you continue, verse 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony to be kept for a token against the rebels. The Lord really wants you to remember what happened. He wants you to remember that for a reason. That rebellion should have never happened. There was no need for that rebellion. And it was evil and wicked for them to do that. The reason why he wants you to remember it is because he doesn't want you to repeat the same mistake as Korah. And sadly, when you continue reading, we're only in Numbers, y'all. We ain't even we're not even close to being halfway through the Bible. Not even close. There were many more accounts of us rebelling against the Most High, and not in the way that you think. Not in the way you think. If you sin, you rebel against the Most High. I want you to understand that. Right? Because what is sin?
Transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law. It's a trespass, right? You're rebelling against the Most High. The Lord told you don't eat pork. You're like, nah, I'm gonna eat this pork bacon. I'm gonna eat this pork belly. I'm gonna get the Chinese food. I'm gonna get the Chinese noodles with the pork broth. That's what you're gonna do because it tastes good. The Lord told you don't eat it for a reason. It's simple, right? We can get into the science behind it. It's high in sodium. Our people got a lot of problems with sodium. Shouldn't be eating that mess. Pig has a ridiculous amount of sodium, more sodium than really any of the other meats that we eat. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna die. You're gonna die early death. And oh my gosh, you know what people do? Oh, it's so bad what happened to him. And then meanwhile, you let your grandma eat that food. You ate her food too. And you knew you weren't supposed to eat that. And instead of trying to educate her, and look, I get it, like, again, we're stiff-necked people, we stubborn. Sometimes you want to do what you want to do. But it would behoove you to at least let your family or your friends know, like, I don't know if you should be eating that. I don't know. Now, if they choose to still do it, we'll be with them. That's all I have to say. But you shouldn't be doing it. You should be setting the example. We ain't eating pork over here. We ain't eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. We ain't celebrating birthdays over here. We're not doing none of that stuff. And that might sound trivial to some people, because I get it. We think carnally. A lot of our people today would be considered a Gentile. I'm being real with you. We'll be considered a Gentile because we've been Hellenized. We've forgotten all our ways. We want to do what everybody else want to do. And when you want to do what everybody else wants to do, when you want to sin like everybody else, again, real quick, I asked, what is sin? Brother over here said, sin is a transgression of the law. You are absolutely correct. Who was the law for? Go ahead. Israelites. Was the law for everybody?
La'ah.
Okay, so la'ah. So I'm asking you a question real quick. Can an Edomite sin?
Come.
Khan?
Come.
Why?
Because the Lord chose Israel.
Nah, so okay, I'm gonna tell you right this. You said sin is a transgression of the law. Correct. Who was given the law? Israelites. Only Israelites were given the law. So that means that we're the only ones that can break the law. So can an Edomite sin? Can he transgress the law?
Law.
Okay, why? You right there.
He doesn't abide by it.
There you go. I'll take it, right? And for anybody who hasn't heard him, the brother said he doesn't abide by it, meaning what? The law was only given to us. Moabites can't sin. Edomites can't sin. Hamites can't sin. Japheth can't sin. Ammonites can't sin. Why? Because they weren't given the law. Only you can sin because you were given the law. So when they eat pork, it doesn't do anything. I don't know, Asians be eating whatever. Man, they will eat a live octopus and be perfectly fine. You eat a live octopus, you probably might die. Or get sick at least. All right. Not Moabites, slack it. Edomites, right? White people, Europeans. Again, the science behind it, because the Bible is science. There was a doctor. I want to say he was an Asian doctor, but he was actually doing extensive research on how to treat his patients based off of their race. And he studied that Europeans, or anybody who is of European descent, white people, right? Their body can tolerate higher levels of sodium than a black person or a Native American person. We cannot consume as much sodium as them. What has a lot of sodium? Pork. That's why the white man, he can eat pork all the time. He'll be fine. You know who else can consume large amounts of sodium? Asian people. Guess who can't do that? Black people. Hispanic people. You can eat it, but then guess what? We start having health issues. Japan, they be eating pork, whatever. They'll eat a live shrimp. And guess what? They still be living to like 80 something years old, 90 something years old. I think Japan is like ranked, I could be wrong. It's like top 10 and top 5, like highest amount of, it's called a centurion. A centurion is like somebody who, a population that has a large amount of people that live to be 100 plus years old. But they can do that. We can't do that though. We'll die faster than them. Again, the science behind it. That's why he told you not to eat it. You break the law, bad things happen to you. Esau, he been gay. I'm gonna just say it. He been doing weird stuff. He been doing Slocky. I gotta say it. He been doing weird stuff, and he still lives a long life. You do some weirdo activity, you get a sexually transmitted disease that you can't get rid of. Am I wrong? Is our STDs not more rampant within the LGBTQ community, especially Black and Hispanic people? We'll look it up if you want to. I'm not wrong. I'm not lying to you. There's consequences. But why is it that we get punished? White man can celebrate his birthday. We do it, something bad happens. White man can celebrate Christmas. And then you always hear like a death or something amongst our community around that time. Oh, okay, sir. All right, I'm Chris. Good seeing you too, sir. But my point, just to wrap it up, right? My whole point, yeah, Esau is not along with the covenant. Yeah, this is his kid. Yeah, y'all on it, right? So like, I'm looking at the chat now, but y'all on it though. They don't abide by it. So when they do certain things, you be wondering like, damn, they got away with it. I'm gonna do it too, and then you do it. You're like, wait a minute, you went to jail. You went to jail. Perfect example of that. Y'all been keeping up. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the news or whatever, the Epstein files and all that stuff. You know, a lot of them people ain't going to jail, right? They're not going to jail. They run the jails. They ain't going nowhere. This day, like you said, this is their kingdom. They don't abide by the covenant, right? You want to know who did get locked up though? Diddy. It's disgusting either way. You shouldn't be doing the mess, but again, he wanted to do what the white people did. And guess what? Now he's in jail. Now he's in prison. All right. But Epstein and all his cohorts, they're running around. Trump is in the Epstein files. He has 34 felonies and multiple baby mamas. He's the president. Don't let you have a felony. Good luck getting a job. Yeah, I forgot the numbers, but it's a lot less likely for a so-called Black or Hispanic man with a felony to get a job over a white man who has a felony. It's crazy. I'm just throwing that out there. This is what happened. You're gonna get punished for doing this stuff. It's a lot. We can go back. Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Go to Salakia. Where were you at? 17 and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's 18. Okay. I'm gonna have you go all the way to 18 and 2. I was off by you. You could finish up at 18 and 2.
The book of Numbers, chapter 17 and verse 11. And Moses did so, as the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Verse 13. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying?
Keep going.
Chapter 18. And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness.
All right, so you stop there. So again, one more time, right? And it says, and the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. Meaning, this one isn't necessarily as negative, right? This is more so, again, it trickles down, both good and bad. Like, don't always think negatively. You think of it in a positive sense too. The good things you do, right? The good things you do, you upholding the law, statutes, and commandments, you teaching your children, hey, we don't celebrate this, or hey, you shouldn't be eating these types of things because it's bad for you. The Lord said it's bad for you, right? That's showing that you care about your child's health. You care about your child's safety, which in a sense, to wrap it all up, you end up caring about you later on anyway, because Lord allow you're reincarnated. You won't know, of course, but you might be helping you out, right? You help out your people. That's what you're supposed to do, right? The bad things trickle down, and yes, it affects our people with the good things too. So we should focus more on the good and what is doing things that are good. So abiding by the law. Don't transgress the law. Don't be a weirdo. Don't eat all these disgusting things. Don't celebrate these pagan holidays. Don't try to sleep with another man's woman. Don't try to engage in sexual deviancy. Don't try to sit here and harm your brother because you're mad at him, because he has a higher position than you, which is still crazy to me, that whole thing with Korah. But don't do those things. And imagine where, in a very short time, where we could be if we actually decided to band together. That's why Esau works so hard to keep you separated. Think about it. He don't do that with nobody else. The Chinese man is able to come over here and he can have his community, right? He might struggle a little bit at first, but their money circulates within their community, right? That's why they're able to sit here and open up a Chinese shop in a predominantly Black neighborhood and still thrive because they still keep it in-house. You don't see Black people working in a Chinese spot. Think about that. You don't see a lot of Chinese people going to a soul food restaurant. Thing is, we want everybody to be included with us, but us. We gotta stop doing that. I'm telling you, it changes with your mindset. You'd be surprised how far a change in your mindset cannot just bring you, but it could bring people. Just throwing that out, right? For the sake of time, Salakia, that was everything. We'll continue next week, of course, continuing with Numbers chapter 18, verse 3, going from there. But I'm going to be closing the class. Anybody hasn't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, throughout for everybody that participated. Participation is always encouraged. We got to continue pushing this truth out because, hey, look, World War III, they're not going to call it World War III. World War III is happening right now. They bombing Iran over there. Iran just bombed the naval base owned by the U.S. Military in Bahrain. It's already happening. So we gotta lock in, y'all. We really gotta stay with this truth. All right, the times are here. This is what's happening right now. You can't wait no more. There's gonna be a time. I promise you. We said it before. You're not gonna be able to find this. All them crazy Israelites that have been saying all this little hocus pocus and y'all been making fun of us. Guess what? It's happening. Everything we said that's gonna happen is happening. I'm just throwing it out there. But with that, water to everybody. Shalom.